Ignore the naysayers. The vast majority of humans are unserious and unambitious. They live their entire lives following a simple template that looks like this: born, go to school, go to college, work a job, marry, have children, midlife crisis, and then die. And while there is nothing wrong with this type of life for those who want to live it, as it doesn't hurt other people, it can't be disputed that all the people who live like this have made peace with the fact that their life will amount to nothing significant. And what's more is that most of them, whether they say it out loud or not, believe that this is the only path possible in life. They think that people who are very successful have something they don't, like privilege, and that they themselves are incapable of being very successful. They look at someone who's ripped and say, "This is impossible for me." They look at someone who replaced their job with an internet business and say, "I can't do that." And they look at a hot woman they want to meet and they say, "She's out of my league." They literally believe that people doing well in life must be made of something different, while they themselves are just ordinary people who must only do ordinary things. This is their mindset and you cannot change it. Let's explore the reasons why naysayers don't believe in you. The first big reason is that they lack conviction in themselves. Naysayers can't believe in you because they don't even believe in their own selves. When they hear you talk about your plans and your ambitions, they think, "Could I do this?" And the answer they get from themselves is usually a long, resounding no. And they think that if they can't do something, then no one else can, especially not another normal person like you. So they try to talk you out of your ideas and encourage you to be realistic, quote unquote realistic. The second big reason why naysayers will never believe in you is that they don't want to feel bad about themselves just in case you end up succeeding. There is a crabs in the bucket mentality situation here. Deep down, naysayers are saying, "What if he succeeds? How will I feel if he succeeds?" The naysayer knows that he will feel miserable if you succeed at something and then get ahead of them. So they will maliciously try to sabotage you. For example, if you're trying to stop drinking, most of your friends who drink will try to convince you to just have a glass, because if you start staying sober, they will have to reconsider their life choices as well. The same will happen if you're fat and you're trying to lose weight. Your fat friends will try to encourage you to eat more. Deep down, they are afraid of how miserable and inferior they will feel if you get thin and they are still obese. Imagine what they will feel if you succeed in business and they are still working their jobs. No one wants to feel that way. They will try to convince you to stick to the conventional path, to be just like them. Behind all the niceties, there is just fear. It is human nature. And the final big reason why you have naysayers in your life is that sometimes they just want you to be safe, and this type of naysaying will usually come from your good friends and family, and typically your mom and dad should be the ones doing it, or at least that is the case for most people. Your mom and dad's first priority is not that you be successful, it's that you be safe. Your parents want you to be doing safe, predictable things and not risky, unpredictable things. Most parents do not understand that success necessitates risk. They want you to do risk-free things like getting a job, settling down, even if it means that you are guaranteed to be mediocre across your entire life. They have different priorities than you, which is why when you say that you're going to do something that they don't think is safe, like starting a business, they'll try to persuade you into the beaten path. Your parents, your family, your good friends, if they're this type of naysayer, you have to understand that they mean well. They just don't have the same priorities as you. You understand that this person is not a hater, but they are getting in your way just the same. They are still being naysayers. And finally, let's talk about the big 3 reasons why you should stop listening to naysayers and do what you want to do. And the first big reason is that naysayers do not offer practical reasons. They only offer emotional reasons. And if you read the portion above on what makes people naysayers, you will find that they are naysayers simply out of emotions and their own mindset. If you say that you want to start a business, a naysayer will typically not critique your idea with reason and encourage you to come up with a different idea. They will just keep telling you that it's risky and that you should stick to your predictable job. Their criticism is not that you're getting into some kind of stupid business. Their criticism is that the business is itself risky, which is of course true, but how does that help? If you say that you want to stop drinking, they will not offer you rational reasons to continue your alcoholism because there just aren't any. They will just keep trying to emotionally manipulate you into drinking. They will say things like, hey, just one drink. You live only once. What's life if you can't have fun? Just one sip. It can't hurt, my friend. If they give you rational reasons to why something will not work, you should probably listen to them and consider their opinions. But when you are just being fed emotion, which is 99.99% of the case, you should just ignore it. Just smile, agree, and ignore it. The second big reason why you shouldn't listen to naysayers is that naysayers will bring unneeded negativity into your thoughts. Talking to naysayers will fill your heart with negativity and fear. A naysayer will talk about scenarios that are unlikely to ever happen, usually out of their own fear, ignorance, and emotion. A funny analogy to this is imagine a guy telling you that a plane might crash right before you're about to fly your first flight. They're going to scare the shit out of you. Even though you have nothing to worry about, planes rarely crash ever. But regardless of that, you will be anxious and you will not be able to stop thinking about it on some level. Your trip will be ruined. Now the same goes for starting your first business or doing anything new. It can fail and everything can fail. But letting someone poison your thoughts and mentality with the fear of the unknown will not make anything easier. The answer here is again the same. Always ignore emotional arguments. Focus on logic and reason. The third big reason why you should stop listening to naysayers is that you will always regret letting a naysayer convince you. There are only 2 things that can happen if you talk to a naysayer. Either they will convince you and change your mind, or they will not. If they don't, then you've already found out what's going to happen. There's a good chance they'll just introduce negative thinking and a fearful attitude in you towards your new venture. What's worse is that if you finally abandon your goals because some naysayer talked you out of it, you will regret that forever. You will always wonder, what if I had taken the chance and succeeded? You will not regret trying and failing, but you will always regret never trying. And of course, we're assuming that you're smart, otherwise why would you be listening to a LMM video? So it's safe to assume that you're not doing dumb things like jumping out of a plane without a parachute. Let's hope that you're taking some kind of calculated risk. Don't let a naysayer talk you out of it because of their emotional arguments. You will forever resent not just the guy who talked you out of pursuing your dreams, but also yourself for being convinced by them. The type of person who wants to do something big is also the type of person who will hate himself for never trying to do something big. Steve Jobs would have never started Apple if he let the naysayers tell him that IBM is too big to compete with. he would have spent his entire life in misery. Arnold Schwarzenegger would have never become a successful bodybuilder, actor, and politician if he let the naysayers tell him that lifting is a waste of time. And if you read his autobiography, The Education of a Bodybuilder, you will find that plenty of people did tell him to stop. Narendra Modi would have never become the Prime Minister if he let naysayers tell him to stick to his father's tea stall. All the big businesses were extremely risky ideas when they started. All the successful people were just normal people when they started. Everyone had a big chance of failing. All of them, every single one of them. No one had guaranteed success ever in their entire life. Every single person, every single business venture, every big attempt for anything had a bunch of naysayers who said, it can't be done, you can't do it. This is too risky, you should not do this. If you let naysayers not even allow you to take the first step into your journey, you are never getting anywhere. You won't even take the first step, so how do you expect to get somewhere? So stop listening to the naysayers. Do what you need to do. And make sure that at least you have thought through your decisions. For Life Math Money, this is your host Harsh Strongman. I hope this video was useful to you. If it was, then please click the like and subscribe button and let me know what you thought in the comment section below. Have a good day.